Okay. I think we're all, yeah. Welcome everyone as we learn the Mishna Yomis, entering in, believe it or not, the final parak of Megilla, and we are holding at Mishna Beis and Gimel of the fourth parak, sponsored Le'ilin Nishmas Chaim Zanvil Ben Moshe, for Shalema for Eliyom Moshe Ben Chayesar, for the schus of Avram Ben Yom Benish Ben Malki Yudis and family. We learned, sponsored by the Fisher family, the Nishmas Bas Robert Shlomo Ben Avram Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain. We learned, sponsored by Yod Klugman and family, for their gezunt and a real Gemar Chasima Taiva Masuka. We learn from my Shver Avigdaya Ben Rivka and Meir Ben Chayesara. They should have a refuah shalema b'seik shaycha Yisrael. So now, the Mishnah says the amount of aliyahs grow by the severity of the day. So, a Rosh Chodesh and Chol Hamoed that has Musaf has 4 aliyahs. Yom Tov that has an Issa Malacha that's punishable with Malchus has 5 aliyahs. Yom Kippur that has Issa Malacha punishable by Chorus is 6 aliyahs, and then Shabbos, which is an Issa Malacha that's punishable by Skila, has 7 aliyahs. Let's see the Mishnah inside. B'Rosh Chodashim u'B'Chol Shel Moed, on Rosh Chodesh and Chol Hamoed, Karen Arba, we have 4 aliyahs. Ein Peichsin, you don't have less than 4. Ve'ein Moisifin Alen, nor do we have more than 4. Ve'ein Maftirin B'Navi, there is no Navi on Rosh Chodesh or on Chol Hamoed. Like we said in the olden days, the version is the first one to go up made the opening bracha of Asher Bachar Banu, and the last one made the closing bracha of Asher Nasan Lanu Teres Emes Mevarech Fanel Lachrea, respectively. Zaklal. This is the principle. Kol sheyesh by Musaf Einu Yom Tov, with his Musaf and no Issa Malacha, Karen Arba. We lane 4. B'Yom Tov Chamisha, B'Yom HaKippurim Shisha 6, B'Shabbos Shiva, on Shabbos 7. Ein Poichsemem, you can't have less, but you could have more. What we call Hoysafas. Everybody loves Hoysafas. Aval Moisifin Aleim Umaftirim Banavi, and there's also laning Haftarah from the Navi. Haprisach V'Chaisim, the same way, the one that starts and the one that concludes, Mevarach respectively, the Fanel, the first one makes the bracha of Asher Bachar Banu, and the last one makes the bracha of Asher Nasan Lanu Teres Emes. The next Mishnah, Mishnah Gimel, teaches us all the things that needs a minyan. The first case is the one that's most unusual. Here we have people who are very late for work. They come into shul, they don't have the wherewithal to make another minyan because they don't have the time and they're closing the shul and whatever the reason is. They can make an abbreviated Baruch Hu and Kaddish. This is called Person Es Hashma. That means they say Baruch Hu, they say Kaddish, and then they say the first bracha of Yotzer Or V'Choshen. They have to make the first bracha because otherwise they can't say Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu means that we're going to make a bracha. So they have to make the first bracha. That's why it's called Person. Person means half. Normally before Shema there's 2 brachas. There's Yotzer Or and Avarab or Avas Olam. Now this abbreviated Baruch Hu ain't Person as Shema unless you have a minyan. The Chazan can't go and say the Chazaras Hashatz of Shemona Esrei unless there's a minyan. You can't duchen unless there's a minyan. You can't lane unless there's a minyan. They can't say the Haftarah unless there's a minyan. At the funeral, we make 7 stops. And each one we say Yoshe B'Seiser till a different point, stopping in different points of the pasuk of Kimalach of Yitzavalach Lishmarcha B'Chol D'Rachecha. These 7 stops, which are done to honor the deceased, we only make if there's a minyan. The Einoim in Birchas Avelim in the olden days, they would say brachas by the Sudas Havra, by the first meal, and they would make a bracha for the mourner, they would make a bracha for those that are comforting the mourner. V'sanchume avelim, nor did they make a shura, which was the 2 rows that we make by a cemetery in order to be menachem the avelim, nor ubirchas chasanim, the sheva brachas. Ve'im mizamnim b'Hashem, nor do we say nevarech Elokeinu when we bench. Pachas me'asar, we don't do any of these things with less than 10 people. Now sometimes, besides 10, one of them has to be a kohen. When is that? Ubekarkois. When we're dealing with redeeming real estate from hektish, the Torah says kohen 10 times, and we learned that you need a panel to evaluate the real estate of 10 people, and one of them has to be a kohen. Tisha v'kohen, and v'odam, if a person says demei olai, I'm offering my value, demei olai, the din is that you need 10 people to evaluate the person for the dedication to Hekdesh, how much he's worth, and one of them has to be a kohen. We want to thank you. Tonight was a really mouthful of learning, a lot of schar. Again, we are looking for a sponsor for tomorrow night's Sukkot share, broadcasted all over the world in 187 countries. If you are interested, call or text 718-916-3100 or email rmmwsi@aol.com. Check out